Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on my overnight. You know what that means. Time for a quick little update. I know it's been a little while, but let's get into it. In case you're living under a rock, you maybe have not noticed this bad boy shooting up like a champion. Let's dig into it. What's my play? What are we going to do? Where do we go from here? Let's dig in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so unless you have not been paying attention, I think everybody in crypto at the moment is paying attention to the fact that Bitcoin decided to start making a little bit of a move here. And everybody's asking, what the heck, where's it going, why is it doing this, and is this the next bull run? Honestly, I think it's the beginning of it. Everybody's got their price predictions. We're actually at 62.8 according to this right now, with its all-time high back here. Actually, it wasn't there. Let's go back further. The all-time high was about 70, I want to say, or pretty close to that. Let's see. Well, according to Coinbase, 64.8. I'm pretty sure we got closer to that 70 mark, though. So it's interesting. Or I'm sorry, not Coinbase, CoinMarketCap. But it's obviously on its move up here, and I think a lot of people are kind of assuming the same thing that I am, which is the halvening. And you'll see a little mark here on CoinMarketCap here. And what the heck is the halvening? For all those who are new, the halvening in essence is every so many years, it's about every 4, the Bitcoin network rewards for miners and for the computers that are decentralized and keeping the network safe and secure, as well as decentralized, get a reward for those calculations for the I think a lot of people use Bitcoin, but they don't realize the amazing technology of the blockchain that's behind it. But either way, the miners who get rewards, that actually gets halved about every 4 years or so, give or take. It all depends on block time and block size. But in past, and you'll see it here, this is way back here, but here was you had this, and you'll see it all over the internet on X and things, but you'll have your first run up after the first halvening, and then you'll kind of go into a couple year bear cycle, and then you'll actually have another run up for the next halvening. And this particular one, we actually had some really good spikes and things, and then it obviously, as everybody knows, it came down over this long bear run, and now we're starting to shoot back up here again, and I think it's anticipation of that halvening. But what people I don't think are paying attention to also, well, maybe they are, but they're just not mentioning it, is all back here. Everybody back here was saying, we love to be decentralized, but we need institutional investors. That was the big play back here. Institutional investor, all back here. Well, we're at that point now where the institutional investors are getting in. And so I think that's where you're seeing a lot of this too. There's a lot of these ETFs and things, and there's a lot of these Fidelities and all these other companies, BlackRock or whatever the heck it is, that are buying up Bitcoin in essence, because if I'm not mistaken, and each one's a little bit different, they are going to have to hold the percentage of the asset they're offering as an ETF. They're actually going to have to hold in order to provide that ETF. They don't have to hold it 100%, but they do need to hold some of it. So everybody has been waiting for institutional investors. I think they're in here, and I think that's where you're seeing some of this. Now, keep in mind, typically after the halvening, it's usually, and again, I wish I could pull up the chart, but we'll deal with that another time. But normally when the halvening happens, there's a good run up to it. The halvening happens, and then people kind of sell the news, so to speak. And then it takes a few months for the market to kind of balance itself out and realize that the supply getting put into the market where the demand has been cut by 50%. So way back here, it used to be 50 Bitcoin per block, or when you would figure it out, and then it became 25, and then it became 12.5, and then it became 6.25, and that's where we're at the moment. So it's actually going to halve to 3.125. That's a 50% reduction. So usually after the halving, it'll spike up. It usually has a bit of a pullback, a little retrace. In this particular case, I don't know where it'll retrace to. My eyes are kind of in that 50,000 range. But then I think you'll see over the next few months and kind of into this year, you're going to start seeing a real epic run up. And that's where everybody's really wondering where we're going to go. What will be, what is going to be that new all-time high? My sights have always been, and everybody in my kind of circles ask me, I think between 100 and 120 sometime by the end of 2024. That's just me. I don't really have any proof for that. It's more of just being in it and just seeing what it's done and kind of old all-time highs and stuff. So don't write home about it. I think regardless, my goal is always to get as much Bitcoin as I possibly can. But what does this mean in general? So typically the other thing that happens is as Bitcoin rolls up and people pull profits and things, after that happening and after Bitcoin, actually during Bitcoin run up, as people sell off, you'll see it start trickling down. You can already see it start happening. Ethereum is starting to make some highs again. BNB, Solana, all these are starting to spike up with this Bitcoin, and that usually happens because as people pull these profits and trade and earn stuff, they will trickle it down to the projects that they like. They'll go to the ones that are solid, usually within the top 10, 15 here of CoinMarketCap, but then they will also begin to start putting into the projects that maybe aren't in this 10 to 15 and maybe down in those 100 marks, because they're going to try and solidify their positions for all those people who have a position in another project that they really want to take a part of. And just like me, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. So there's a ton of different projects, and actually I've been holding quite a few of them, and I've talked about them over the last year, 2 years, that really haven't been making a whole lot of moves. But I have been talking about them, and in essence, it is... I would imagine on this next bull run, you're going to start seeing some of those projects that have been sitting for a year or two, if you've been solid, and they have a solid team, to be completely honest with you. They got to have a solid team and that they're building. You're going to start seeing some of those projects coming online. So some of the things that I've been getting into, as you guys know, and some of the little more distant ones, on the Avalanche network, there is something called Connect Financial, or Connect. This is something that's been building over the last couple of years. I want to say 2 years or so. In fact, when I checked the price earlier, it was actually just below 8 cents, and now we're up to that 11 cent mark. So it is starting to go up. And what, in essence, this is going to be, don't let this particular screen fool you. This is just their staking and treasury screen where you can stake your tokens and earn rewards and such. And I do have some in here. I've actually had it since the pre-sale. I haven't sold a single one, actually. And so I've just been basically staking in here, and as you earn rewards, I've just been compounding it back over into my my primary. But what are they? They're at the moment they're supposedly paired up with Visa. They're going to have a debit card or a credit card, in essence, that's linked to the crypto that you have within their system or within their dashboard. But then there's going to be certain perks and things by utilizing it and using your crypto as collateral with that debit card. And there's different tiers. There's silver, gold, and bronze, I think, or something along those lines. And depending on how many CNF you have, and the more you have, you actually move up in those tiers, and you'll get more and more perks for holding that particular thing. So I think it's got some really good potential. Keep an eye out for it. Come to their website. There is a Telegram for them. It's starting to wake back up again because the price has been moving up. I think they're getting close to start doing some market testing, and I think they're going to start seeing a launch hopefully this year. They haven't said officially, but it's kind of been getting hinted and dropped in the chats and stuff like that. So that is Connect or Connect Financial. Let's jump over here to, this is Pulse. So Pulse, I'm not going to claim it, but over here, there's a couple things I'm watching on Pulse. Obviously, Pulse itself I'm watching, and then Pulse X, if you're, with all the burning mechanisms and kind of on the next bull run, you're going to hope it starts dropping some zeros. So really what my play has been, I have a couple of things in Pulse, one of them being the Richard Hart, or the RH404, the new NFT. Honestly, they're saying there's going to be some really good utilization for it. So I'm just kind of holding on to it. It's actually on a low at the moment if you guys are interested in it. Let's see if I can find it real quick here. Was it on this one? No. Sorry, I have a million things open because I wanted to show you guys. So, here it is. RH404. Yeah, so it had its spike and it's been slowly creeping down because, as you know, there's the one thing I will tell you is that the team is still building. They're still very active in the chat. They're talking about how they're going to have utility. Their rarities are going to be getting released soon. So there's a lot of kind of activity and potential in this. It's one of the few NFTs that are really solid so far on the Pulse side of things. And with that being said, I can actually utilize it over here in the farms for pls.farm or Pulse Farm. You can actually come down here and you can stake it and earn more cow tip token. And then that cow tip token, as you guys know, as you earn it, I throw it over here into the yield barn. The yield barn then generates you LP, which is Pulse and cow tip. You withdraw that, split it, throw the cow tip back into this yield barn, and it's a beautiful, fun little cycle. I'm not going to show you that on this because I'm actually going to save that for TikTok. I want to teach people on TikTok how to take these and split it and all that good stuff. But Pulse.farm has been rocking and rolling. What is it at now? It's at 2 cents. It's been up and down and all over the place, but regardless, it's been pretty rock solid. The team is still developing. These APRs have been maintaining. It's been pretty amazing. I don't think I've seen it below 250% for cow tip. So whatever mechanisms they got going with the taxes and stuff, they are doing phenomenal. It is attached to Rat Pulse, if I'm not mistaken, so you'll see as Rat Pulse fluctuates, this will fluctuate, but this thing has been a juggernaut and steadily paying out for since it opened, to be honest with you. The other thing on Pulse that I am using, that's actually the only one at the moment that I think I'm going to talk about on that one. There is a new one coming out from the same people who created Blur. They're coming out with a DEX. So if you guys don't know, Blur made an exchange almost like OpenSeas for NFTs, and they're actually going to be coming out with a DEX now. It's called Blaster. So they're in the process of doing not necessarily pre-sale, but you can actually go on here and do referral codes and such. And then based on how many referrals you'll get more free Blaster tokens. I think I'm currently at like 300. Yeah. I haven't shared my referral codes or anything, but I'll put this referral code in the comments or in the information section of the video if you guys are interested. I'm not going to go too far into it. In essence, it's a new decentralized exchange, but it should be pretty legit. It's got a lot of, if it does anything like Blur did, Blur was a juggernaut as well for the NFT marketplace. So as you guys know, of course, Animal Farm, and that's actually one of the things I wanted to show you. Let's go over here to X. No, not Zen. Let's just go here. What I wanted to show you is, let's go home. The Black Cube Finance 4. I should have had this prep. I apologize, but the Black Cube Finance has been tweeting. And if you guys don't know, the Black Cube is actually either way. So Animal Farm is going to be rebranding as Black Cube Finance. That chat also is starting to perk up a little bit. I think we're pretty close, as you guys know, and I've gone into it in other videos, and I'm going to go into it more in depth as we get in some information. But in essence, it's getting rebranded. It is going to be a market-making platform with a bunch of other functionality in regards to the financial sector. And if you're holding any of the pigs in the pig pen, that's actually going to get switched over to what they call seats. And then if you're holding dogs in the dog pound, that actually is going to get switched over to cubes, I think. I can't recall. But the seats are going to become much more valuable as it's going to be coordinated so that large portions of the revenue from the site are actually going to go into that seat, or the round table they call it. Meanwhile, the thing that I'm actually excited for, and I think is going to be one of the big game changers, what everybody is waiting for, is it's going to kind of revolutionize the farming side of things. They have something called the Roam protocol that's going to be built into Blackcube, and in essence, it's going to give you the most recent information. I believe it was 6 or 8 different ways that it will, in essence, manage your market, your LP, so that it is optimized in the Pancake Swap LP, so that you're within a range to optimize and maximize the input, as well as auto compounding and things. And that is big for me. That is what I'm really, really looking forward to be able to, especially on this next run. That's the only thing I wish we knew was when it was going to launch, because now with everything running up, you're going to want to be in one of these, whether it be, it's not going to be BUSD anymore, because BUSD isn't going to be supported soon, but like you can do like a BTC ETH pair, so you can start picking up those gains as the trade goes back and forth, and it auto compounds and it optimizes it. So I think that is going to be the first major product that comes out, and everybody's looking forward to it. High APR with auto compounding of your LP is just going to be absolutely amazing. So keep your eye out for that. Another one that I am paying attention to, it's actually going to be new. It has not launched yet, but they are trying to prep, is it's one called I don't know how you say it properly. Nuclei? Something wrong there. In essence, it is it's a way for blockchains and stuff to utilize AI and marketing through blockchain. I mean, it's a very exciting kind of prospect, and it hasn't launched yet to my knowledge, but they are starting to get ready to launch out their alpha. You can come on here and actually start utilizing some of their things, but this is another one that I'm keeping an eye on, because I do want to scoop some of this one up. It is actually, it looks like they have just updated. It's got a beta version on here now, so that's awesome. So that is that one. The other one is, where is it? As everybody knows, is my wonderful Star Atlas. So a couple things with Star Atlas, and I apologize if this video is running long, but I didn't realize this before. I've been sitting on income that I was not paying attention to. So when you come into Star Atlas, if you sign in and you choose a faction, I end up choosing the Mud faction, which in essence is the human. I have a couple little ships because I was part of very early. I was able to get a couple of these. You can actually fuel it, food it, ammo, and health. In fact, let's do that real quick, because as you can see, my food, this runs out about every couple of days, but it'll actually generate ever so slight bit of Atlas. The smaller the ship, the less it does. But hey, it's free Atlas, you know what I mean? Free so long as you have these things here. And I'm going to show you what I've been doing, which I did not realize, but you do need to resupply these. I'm going to hit resupply, because it will only generate that Atlas, from what I'm gathering, if they have enough food, ammo, and energy and all that kind of stuff. So boom, now that we're resupplied, let's close it. So it is now going to generate 0.6. It's not a ton, and I get it, it's not a ton, but it's free Atlas to a degree. Let's bump this guy up here also. Let's resupply you. And it's all going to be a matter of what is that Atlas going to be worth as this thing continues to go. That's a big part of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to claim Atlas on both of these. So we have Atlas in our wallet. Claim that. Claim you. And then here's the part that I was not even realizing. In order to do this, you actually have to have full fuel, food, ammo, and health, and all that kind of stuff. Well, I actually had some... Okay, sorry about that. I'm working when I do these, as most of you guys know. So what I was going to say is, in the faction claims, if you come over here to faction, you can actually stake if you're owning any type of claim stakes, structures, and you can buy these off the marketplace. The higher the tier, the more it costs. I was only able to get a tier 1 and a tier 2. But what this does is every couple of days, it's actually automatically generating you these things. So I'm going to kind of tell you, I have 2 tiny little ships, as you guys just saw. It doesn't take a whole lot of food or ammo and all that kind of stuff. So here's what I've been doing. The tier 1, and it fills up pretty quick. And once it's full, it doesn't go anymore. So you got to kind of come in here every couple of days and look at it. But let's claim these real quick, and I'm going to show you how I do this. Now, if you have a big ship, you're going to need a bigger claim stake. But I only have 2 little dinky ships, so I can refuel them very, very easily. And then as the game progresses, if I can use those ships for other things, that'll be cool. But maybe at some point I'll be able to get a bigger ship. I just haven't looked yet, to be honest with you. So once it shows that these are claimed, which it should any second now. Oh, don't prove me wrong here. It's weird. I wonder why it's not confirm. Oh, it did claim, but it just hasn't updated on the site yet. Because if you saw that, it said it was only going to claim like 5 for each of these. So what I'll do is then I will come over to where is it? Over here. This is the inventory, but I'm going to marketplace. There it is. So for my ships, I need barely anything. But if you come over here to the marketplace, now that I've done those collections, you go over here to resources, consumables, and here's those 4 things that are able to go onto the market that we actually just claimed. So if we go to ammunition, I'm just going to go down the butt here, and I'm going to put create an order, sell my ammunition. So it says at the moment I actually have 155,000 in my inventory. I don't need that much by any means. And so every couple of days I'm actually selling it off. I'm going to keep right around, in fact, let's do this. Let's do max, and we're just going to take away, let's sell 55,000 of it. So I have 100,000 left. And it's going to give me 125 Star Atlas. So let's place that order real quick. And while that's going, we go over to food, and the exact same thing. Create order, sell food. I have 154,000. Let's do max again, but I'm going to keep 100,000. This will get me 95 Atlas. Let's place that order. Confirm. And then fuel. And this whole time I've had these little stakes and I just never even realized it. So create order, sell the fuel, same scenario. I'm going to keep 100,000. Just, I don't think I'll ever need 100,000, but it doesn't hurt. So let's sell that. Toolkit. Create, sell, max. And that'll get me 156 Atlas. So then once I place those orders, I just put it on as market. It fluctuates here and there, but since I'm only coming in every 2-3 days or so, I just kind of do with whatever the market is showing at the time. So then over the time, and it has yet to not work, over the next 2, 3, 4 days, people will buy those up. And as they buy them up, you'll actually end up getting Atlas into your wallet. And then what I've been doing, you can either hold on to the Atlas if you want to try and buy something with it, or in my case, what I usually like to do, so now I have 290 Atlas from the last time I went through this, which is $1.97. Works for me. Let's swap it. Let's retry to swap it. Review order, swap. I wonder why. Maybe it's got too many decimals. Let's pull some of those off. All right. Well, obviously there's something going on, unfortunately, with the Solana network at the moment. But that's what I've been doing. In essence, I have been slowly but surely just generating, and every couple of days I'll get $2-3 worth, whatever the case is. And then I sell that Star Atlas. If you want to hold on to the Star Atlas, you can actually go into the market and buy things with the Star Atlas also. That's where you can get those bigger ships, or if you want to get a tier stake or something like that. So now, as you guys know, we always come over here to our lockers. Let's claim. We got 57 Polis over here. Hopefully that goes through. Let's go back. Let's do this guy. claim. Why that swap wasn't working, I don't know. So, all right, so that is that one. The next one I wanted to talk about is I'm gonna say it wrong. I don't know if it's Onami, however the case is, but this is on the Cosmos chain now. So this particular platform is actually going to be releasing. In fact, they just in their Telegram today said that their Onex DEX, or their decentralized DEX for their particular project on the Cosmos chain is they're looking at the first week of March in order to release it. So that is coming up very, very, very soon. And this particular one, they're going to do it's going to be a market making, but it's also going to be dealing with Forex. So you're actually going to be able to use it in order to exchange from different currencies and things. There's a whole fleet of stuff that they're actually going to be utilizing or trying to utilize this for. So not only market making through crypto, but also through the Forex marketing overseas. So this one has the potential, I think, to be real, real big. It also has been slowly creeping up, and it has yet to have like that big advertising push or anything yet. It has not done it yet. But again, I think as they build up to their mainnet, which they're saying will be beginning of March, you're going to start seeing this kind of spike up a little bit more. So right now it's about $0.25 a token. As you can see, I've actually had quite a bit of holding as I've been dollar cost averaging into this one. And at the same time, you can actually stake if you have any, you can actually stake it to support it. In their stake, it's offering about I want to say it's about 19%, something like that. You do need the Kepler wallet for this particular one. That's what this K is, because it is on the Cosmos. That's not what I was looking for. Where is it? Staking. I was in the right place. I was just in the wrong one. So as you can see, I had it originally. I had all of it. They ended up dividing it between two. So this one in particular, I have in here, and it's a 22% APR right now. And I have 12 NOM in there that I can technically claim. And once I claim that, then I can sell it there. And the decentralized one is called Astroport. But what I ended up doing, and it took 21 days because I did have more in there. I actually had all of mine in staking, so I have it was just about 5,000, just over 5,000. But I split it in half because they just came out with, or this company here, Chorus One, just came out with one. And the reason I wanted to try it and why I split it, and once you stake it, you have to keep it in there for 21 days. But I ended up pulling it out and moved it over here because this one actually auto compounds it. So this particular place, it's restake.app, and you can go specifically to the Onami network. I took half of it, threw it into here, and this will do 2 times a day, so long as you minimally generate 1 NOM token, and it's actually compounding it into that position for me. So it does have a little bit higher APY. I think it's because of that compounding, but I just want to give it a try. Anytime you have automatic compounding, you can't go wrong with that. So you can see them both here. I'm kind of curious. I had it at 28 and 28. This one's at 28.40. This one's at 28. And on the 28, there's only 12. As you guys saw a moment ago, there's only 12 available. So at the moment, the restake is doing pretty good. So that is that one in a nutshell. I think I could probably leave it from there. There's a couple others that I wanted to talk about, such as Photo Finish. That's a really big one. That's actually the Crown token is taking off, and in essence, it is it's a gaming platform, but it's getting its roots in the horse racing. Oddly enough, here it is, Crown. Let's see what it's doing. But they're also going to be, they're trying to, in essence, breach into other positions as well, other kind of sports betting. So it's now at $1.81. It had a really good run up, and I think it's because they're actually doing another raise, kind of their final raise to support their development and project. Let's go over the year. But they're doing another raise, but I think they have a lot of things on the horizon that are going to be pretty dang good. Yeah, look at that run up there. So I think this is just people, they know something's coming, if that makes sense. It's already got a huge user base. It's already got apps. I mean, it's a fully functioning platform at the moment. This is, like I said, they're just about to do their newest raise, and I think that's because they're trying to expand into other sports betting things and that kind of stuff. So that's going to be a really good one. Rail chain I talked about. We won't go into that. That's a privacy chain. But there's a couple others that I think are going to be coming out here in this bull run. I know this video went on long, and I apologize, but I just had so much I wanted to talk about. But the biggest and most impressive thing is that I think we are at the beginning of this run that everybody's been waiting for. So I've been trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can. My goal is to still accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can, because I think we even still have a 2x available going forward. So take your profits where you need to, dollar cost average, take those winnings. Make sure you take winnings off the table, put them where you want to put them, but just make sure that you are. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and have a wonderful night.